I love thrifting community cookbooks, and I love trying all the tried and true recipes that they are filled with. And I can't wait to share some of those recipes with you today. So are you ready to cook with me? If so, stick around. If this is your first time visiting my channel, are you ready to? I just want to say, welcome to my home, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel, and like I said, today I'm going to be trying some community cookbook recipes. So I'm trying these for the first time myself today too. I know they're going to be delicious though. And the one I'm most excited to try is the Chicken Breast Supreme. It's out of a community cookbook out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's a compilation of the best submissions from 1971 to 1996. So you know this is filled with delicious recipes. So first, I'm going to be making the Chicken Breast Supreme. Now the chicken has to marinate for quite a while, so I'm going to get that marinated first, but I'm also going to be making some side dishes, and I'm going to try a side dish from a recipe book from 1984, also a community cookbook, and that's going to be creamy potato puff. I hope it turns out, like I said, I'm trying this for the first time myself. And then also I'm going to be making a spinach, bacon, mushroom, carrot, onion, French salad with homemade French dressing out of that same cookbook from the years 1971 to 1996 out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. So let's get started on that marinade for the chicken breast. So I have my hair pulled back, revealing my sparkle, AKA my gray hairs here. But you know what? It's not about me. This video isn't about my gray hair. It's about delicious community cookbook submission recipes from decades ago. So let's get started on mixing up this marinade. You're gonna need a cup of sour cream. You're gonna need some salt, pepper, celery salt, paprika, lemon juice, minced garlic, Worcestershire sauce. That's at least how I pronounce it. And I think that's about it. And then after this marinates for a while, we're gonna roll up that chicken breast in some crushed corn flakes and bake it in the oven until it's nice and crispy, and then pour some butter on top right before it finishes up baking. So let's mix up this marinade. So I end up doubling this recipe because I made about 7 or 8 chicken breasts, but this base recipe that I'm about to show you is for, I would say, about 4 or 5 chicken breasts. So to a mixing bowl, or what I did here, to a 4-cup liquid measuring cup, add 1 cup of sour cream, the juice of half of a lemon, or I would say about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of celery salt, a teaspoon of paprika, and 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Now, this might be kind of salty for some people who are trying to watch their sodium intake, so you can probably do 1 teaspoon of salt there, or even eliminate the salt, and it might be salty enough with the celery salt and the Worcestershire sauce. And then to all that, you're gonna add 2 or 3 minced garlic cloves there and whisk it all together. Just whisk, whisk, whisk it all together, and it ends up being quite thick, as you will see. And then spread it evenly all over your chicken breast, and you can let it marinate for up to, like, I would say 24 hours or more. So this is a great make-ahead recipe. When I prepare my chicken breast, I always do it this way. I cut off the stuff I don't like, I cut them in half, and then I put 2 pieces of wax paper, well, one down underneath the chicken breast, another on top, and then I pound it thin. And my chicken comes out tender every single time I prepare it this way. And there it is, all marinated up. I'm going to just cover that, put that in the refrigerator, and leave it in there until I'm ready to bring it back out and roll it around in those cornflakes. And what I'm going to do next is peel, or I should say clean, peel, and boil these potatoes for that potato puff. So let's get going on that. After that, I'm going to mix up the French dressing because I figured I'm going to let all the flavors kind of sit together for a while before I mix up the salad. So I'm going to get started on these potatoes. Oh, and then also I need to dice and cook up some bacon for that spinach salad. That's going to go along with that French dressing. This creamy potato puff recipe was submitted by Doris in 1984 to a community cookbook. Unfortunately, the other recipes, there wasn't a name submission along with them. However, to whoever submitted the other recipes years and years ago, thank you so much to you two. We'll be enjoying these recipes for a very long time to come. While those potatoes are coming to a boil, so I used about 4 or 5 decent sized potatoes while they're coming to a boil for my creamy potato puff. I'm gonna get started on this easy French dressing recipe. And boy, was this an easy recipe and a great one too. It's one of those recipes that I think, where has this recipe been all my life? Because I'm never buying store-bought French dressing ever again when it's this easy to make. So you combine 1/3 of a cup of cider vinegar, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and then 3/4 cups of salad oil, or I would say just a kind of tasteless oil, so to speak, instead of using like an extra virgin olive oil, because I feel like that would overpower the taste of this dressing. But anyway, I mix it all up, whisk it all together, whisk, whisk, whisk again, and just look at that beautiful color. It is such a good dressing. I can't wait to try all this at the end of making this recipe. I'm putting it in a jar, putting a lid on it, putting it in the refrigerator so it has a nice chill on it when I pour it over the fresh spinach salad. Now on to preparing the rest of my ingredients for the fresh spinach salad. I'm going to start with the carrots. I cleaned and peeled them. And now with that same vegetable peeler, I'm just going to peel away at these carrots so I have a nice big pile of shredded carrots. Look at that. It's so good. It's so delicate when you do it that way. I know it takes a little time, but it's worth it in the end. I'm also going to use about, I would say, 1/4 or maybe 1/2 cup of red onions that I also sliced up thin, and only 3 fresh mushrooms because I'm mainly going to be the person who's going to eat the fresh mushrooms in the end. So I don't need to cut up a whole bunch of those. And next, I'm going to dice up that bacon, get that cooked up, and put it aside and put everything in the refrigerator until I am ready to assemble that salad. Now, in the meantime, I did take out an 8-ounce block of cream cheese to put in my creamy potato puff later because I want it to be nice and softened for when the potatoes are done boiling. Now it's time to get out my grill pan, crunch up those cornflakes into smaller pieces, yes, using my hands, and then coat those pieces of chicken breast in the cornflakes and get them on my grill pan. I'm also going to preheat my oven to 350 because the chicken breast supreme recipe as well as the creamy potato puff recipe both calls for a 350-degree oven, so this is a perfect pairing. They'll both be done at the same time. While my oven is heating up to 350 degrees, I'm going to get all of my ingredients ready for the creamy potato puff. I'm going to chop up about 1/3 of a cup of onions. I'm going to chop them up nice and fine. And then I'm going to get my 1 egg beaten up, ready to go to put into my mixer with the potatoes. So using my whisk attachment to my mixer, I'm going to mix together the potatoes and the cream cheese first. So I'm going to cream that together first. Then I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients, get that in my casserole dish that I am first going to butter, and then I'm going to put that in the oven, and it's going to take about 45 minutes to bake, which is a perfect amount of time because it's also going to take the chicken breast supreme 45 minutes to bake. Now Doris also added 1/4 cup of chopped pimento to her creamy potato puff. I chose to leave that out. I'm going to try it next time, but I wasn't sure if my boys were going to like that. I like pimento, but I just wasn't sure about everybody else. So for the first time, I left that out of this recipe. And I would say I used about 4 to 5 cups of hot mashed potatoes in this. So here's just another rundown of what I put in here. It was 1 package of cream cheese, and that was an 8-ounce package, 4 or 5 cups of hot mashed potatoes, 1 egg beaten, 1/3 of a cup of finely chopped onion, and a teaspoon of salt and a little dash of pepper. I want to take a second here to dedicate this entire video to my Mimi. She was a beautiful, beautiful person and a wonderful cook. I just love her so much, and I'm using her piece of Corningware here. I pick up pieces here and there when I'm out thrifting, but this bowl was hers. So as this creamy potato puff hopefully puffs up and bakes in the oven, I'm going to be thinking of my Mimi. So the chicken has now been cooking for 30 minutes. I'm going to pull it out of the oven and then pour about a half a stick of melted butter over the chicken and continue to cook it for another 15 minutes. Ooh, that looks so good already. How good that looks. Let's pour the butter over that and get it back in the oven to keep cooking. Now my potato puff is not looking very puffy, but that's okay. I'm sure it's going to taste great. Now that everything's almost done baking, it's time to assemble this beautiful, fresh spinach salad. So I just take some fresh spinach, the red onion, the shredded carrots, the bacon pieces, the fresh mushrooms, and poured that beautiful, easy French dressing right on top. Here's a potato puff. It looks great, and everything smells amazing. Now that everything's cooked, it is time to taste all of these recipes. I cannot wait. I did doubt Doris a little bit on the potato puff. However, the potatoes did puff up. The chicken looks amazing. I cannot wait to dive into that salad. And this is a ridiculous time of the evening to be eating a dinner. However, it is what it is. My food is finished cooking, and I did not start this video early enough in the day to really eat this at a decent time, but I'm hungry and I'm trying this anyway. So let's get this plated up. Okay, so first up, this delicious salad. Just looks amazing. Oh my gosh. Make sure I get the bacon, the dressing on there. And there's no way I'm gonna eat a whole piece of chicken, but I'm gonna go ahead, get that on the plate. And of course, the potato puff. Ooh, look at how delicious that looks. Now that's a meal right there. Look at that plate. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now it's time to bite into it. Okay, steak knife, not needed. Butter knife would work just fine. Nice and tender chicken. Okay, so here it goes, that first bite of chicken. It's juicy and crunchy, if that's even possible. It's absolutely delicious. I have a feeling my kids are gonna think this is a 10 out of 10, and this is gonna be on my normal dinner rotation. Let's try this potato puff. It looks pretty hot. It's so good. It's creamy, and the onion is not overpowering. It's just delicious, and I think it needs to be tried with a bite of chicken. Great combination. And now for this salad, I've been wanting to dive into this salad. Gotta get some carrot, onion, bacon, spinach, and some mushrooms. Gosh. It's so good. The dressing is delicious. You got to try all of these recipes. Trust me, you are going to love these. And this is why I love cooking recipes out of community cookbooks. They're family favorites already. They're tried and true recipes. Yes, they are decades and decades old, but I'm sorry, a good recipe, it never goes out of style and it never becomes outdated. So give these recipes a try, and I hope to see you next time on Are You Ready To? Have a great day. Goodbye.